Good morning. Happy Insurance Nerd Day. Whatever an insurance nerd is. Maybe you like to track all different types of insurance and their prices. National Caviar Day, so treat yourself. National Sour Candy Day. Nelson Mandela International Day, because today's his birthday. Perfect Family Day. What does that even look like? What does that even mean? Perfect Family Day. And World Listening Day. So there's some really great quotes today. John Glenn, who they put on quotes of people whose birthday it is today. John Glenn, if there's one thing I've learned in my years on this planet, it's that the happiest and most fulfilled people I have known are those who devoted themselves to something bigger and more profound than merely their own self-interest. From Nelson Mandela, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate. If they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. And Red Skelton has a birthday today. I personally believe that each of us was put here for a purpose, to build, not to destroy. If I can make people smile, then I have served my purpose for God. It's pretty cool. As they get closer to my scene, they come straight to me. And the agent walks up to me and he leans over, whispers, "Don't fight it," and put the cuffs on. All right. Here we go. How much time do I have? All right, we're doing sports ball. We've got Auburn seniors and all right. Okay, back. Like FX's Reservoir Dogs and What We Do in the Shadows, a fresh competition, including Shogun actors Anna Sawai and Hiroyuki Sanada. Lily Gladstone and Callie Reese became the first female actor to be nominated for Emmys. Gladstone for Under the Bridge and Reese for True Detective, Night Country. Reservoir Dogs was nominated in the Best Comedy Series for category for what is its final season. And a meteor streaked over the New York City skyline before disintegrating over nearby New Jersey, according to NASA. The head of the space agency's Meteoroid Environments Office said the fireball was first sighted at an altitude of 51 miles above Manhattan at about 11:17 a.m. Tuesday. It passed over the southern part of Newark before disintegrating 31 miles above the town of Mountainside. When meteorites or other fragments of space debris reached the planet's surface, the space rock moved at a speed of about 41,000 miles per hour. Its exact trajectory is uncertain, since reports are based only on eyewitness accounts and no camera or satellite data is currently available. Breaking news first. America's first news, coast to coast, with Matt Ray. We'll be right back. In a study, it was found that 33% of 44 herbal supplements had no trace of the advertised herb. Don't let that happen to you. Hi, this is Dr. Mitch. If you want to ensure quality, please go to totalwellness.com. Supplements made for physicians only now available to you too. TotalWellness.com, helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness. Would your car perform better with premium gas or regular? What do octane ratings mean? I'm Ron Ananian, the Car Doctor, your automotive prescription, right after this.
Increase fuel economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme, the solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy. Whether you're driving a sports car or a daily commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated with DEA to deep clean. Don't settle for an average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Today's modern vehicle, whether it's a car, SUV, or light truck, is designed with a specific fuel in mind. Read your owner's manual. What octane rating does the vehicle manufacturer call for? That's what you should use. But there are exceptions to the rule. Many high-end or luxury vehicles call for premium or higher octane fuel. And the reason for this is not just due to the octane rating. There are better fuel system cleaners in premium fuels. Gasoline companies know, too, that vehicles that run on premium won't perform as well with carbon deposits. so they pack more cleaning power into their premium fuels than their regular blend. If you rotate your fuel choices around, say, every third tank, you may find better performance and miles per gallon because you are cleaning your engine and fuel system while you drive. Just don't tell your mechanic to replace them anytime soon. With your automotive prescription, I'm Ron Eating in the car. See you next time.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is July 18th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:30 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Forest Hill. Currently 68 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 94 degrees. All right, there's the sports ball music. Let's get right into it. We're going to start nationally. WNBA, the Dreams versus the Dream versus the Lynx. Lynx win that one, 86-79. Fever, it's a Caitlin Clark team. Now, we've all heard about Caitlin Clark. Indiana Fever versus the Wings. Wings take that one 101-93, although Caitlin Clark had a record-breaking night there. Fever versus the Wings. Wings win that one 101-99. Hey, we are in the All-Star break, so no baseball is happening right now. A's come back tomorrow to start a home stretch against the Los Angeles Angels. You can hear that on KAHI starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. 6 o'clock tomorrow night. A's are back here after the All-Star break. Starting the second half of the season. Talking about baseball season, Auburn falls in NorCal State Tournament final. Auburn Little Leaguers Seniors All-Star surrendered 5 runs in the first inning of a 9-2 loss to Turlock American in the championship game of the Northern California Senior Baseball Tournament on Friday night at Gilroy Sports Park. This is from the Auburn Journal. Turlock American forced the if game with the 7-2 victory over Auburn on Thursday and jumped on Auburn early Friday with 2 RBI singles, a 2-run error, and a bases loaded walk. Tanner Baldwin went 2 for 4 for Auburn, and Garrett Brink had a hit for an RBI and stole 2 bases. Turlock American advances to the West Regional Tournament at Laney College in Oakland beginning on Thursday, July 16th. And hey, we got a big event going on this weekend. Boy, this is a tradition here. The 68th Tevis Cup is happening this weekend, featuring the biggest field since 2019. Again, from the Auburn Journal, the 68th annual Tevis Cup comes back to Auburn this weekend. 143 riders and their trusted steeds come to the endurance capital. This is the most experienced horse this year in the field is 15-year-old Mustang named Cody, who has competed on the ride 7 times, and Cody will be ridden by Ken Campbell of Lincoln. This year's Tevis Field is the biggest since 2019, which had 184 riders. Tevis Cups, it's 100 miles in one day. It starts at 5:15 a.m. Saturday, July 20th at Roby Park in Truckee. And the finish line is Saturday night at McCann Stadium at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. So if you're in Auburn, you're going to see all the horse trailers starting to come around here, and it's a really exciting time. I know we just had Western States. Now another famous one, Tevis Cup, coming up this weekend on Saturday. Back with more right after this. All right, I might have gone a little long there.
Matching your electric usage to the right rate plan can save you money. Visit dge.com/rate analysis to compare rate plans to see if you can save. Take a bite out of your electricity bill. Check your rate plan today.
Brought to you by Pioneer Community.
See them at night.
And every day they steal from you. Digital displays. They can only steal a little bit, but what happens from the bottom? It adds up and you pay.
Stop energy theft. Turn off printers and computers when not in use. Use a power strip for charging and turn the strip off when done. Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your KAHI News. We're going to have your California Ag Report. And later on in the next hour, it is Thursday, gang, which means it is time for 3 headlines and a lie. Yep, 3 headlines are actual headlines, believe it or not, that have actually happened, events that have happened. And one of them is completely made up. Can you spot the odd one out? We will do that here coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. Back now to America's First News, and I'll see you back here in just a bit. Okay, I gotta find a. Ooh. Oh, that already happened. That was this week, photography camp. Hot summer nights. Let's talk about that. There we go. Oh, you know what though? I could also talk about the Colfax. Yeah, we'll talk about hot summer nights, and then we'll talk about Colfax has the farmers market tonight.
His doctors and aides withheld information about how sick he was and key details of his treatment. It comes as Trump tries to question the health of President Joe Biden, as Trump is only 3 years younger.
Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, there's a Grass Valley Farmers Market. Alrighty. That one. Here we go. Colfax Farmers Market every Thursday. Talk about that later. And this next one's going to be 6 minutes. Check that. So what am I going to talk about in the 7 o'clock hour? Okay. That because I played the commercial. Okay, now time to go and practice the news.
The new Associated Press NORC Center for Affairs Research poll conducted its finding works to salvage his candidacy 2 weeks after his debate flop also found that only 3 in 10 Democrats are extremely or very confident that he has the mental capability to serve effectively as president. That is likely 40% in an AP NORC poll. Is there anything that you would look to you personally, not anybody else, not on the public side, even perhaps family members, that you would like to say, if you see that, what it would be about you? Representative Adam Schiff on Wednesday became the next outlaw candidate. They called for Biden to drop his re-election bid, even as the party pushed ahead with plans for a virtual vote in order to make Biden its nominee in the first phase of August. The Sao Paulo Bishop died along one of the main rivers in Brazil, Sao Paulo State, after alleged illegal dumping of industrial waste from the Chevron chemical plant. Environmental authorities and prosecutors said Wednesday that a preliminary analysis estimates that between 10 and 20 tons of fish died on the Piracicaba River in southeastern Brazil. Initial investigation points to an irregular discharge of wastewater from a scheme that soured his aid fund. The greenhouse injuries reached the stream that flows into the river, according to prosecutors. On Wednesday, a carpet of floating fish marks has covered the water that stretches on the river. Environmental officials say it will take years to recover. South Korea's president Thursday appointed a former North Korean diplomat as a vice minister. The highest level government job for any of the thousands of North Koreans who have resettled in South Korea. Tae Young-ho was a minister for the North Korean embassy in London when he left South Korea in 2016. Tae is the highest ranking North Korean who's resettled in South Korea in recent years. He said he did so because he did not want his children to live miserable lives in North Korea. He fell into despair over Kim Jong-un's executions of officials and nuclear officials. Britain's new Labour Party government promised to it set out its plans for national renewal, bringing state opening at Parliament these days, stabilizing the UK's public finances, spurring economic growth at the center of Prime Minister Keir Starmer's legislative agenda, announced in a speech written by government officials and delivered by King Charles.
My government recognizes the urgency of the global climate challenge of the new job opportunities that can come from leading the development of the technologies of the future. It is committed to a clean energy transition, which will benefit consumers over time. Continue to give its full support to Ukraine and its people, and it will endeavour to play a leading role in providing Ukraine with a clear path to NATO membership. My government will play its part in trying to secure long-term peace and security in the Middle East. It is committed to a two-state solution with a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable and sovereign Palestinian state.
Starmer, who has moved his right-wing party toward the center since becoming Labour leader in 2020, campaigned on a promise to bring change to Britain, modest cost to taxpayers, pro-worker and pro-business, in favor of advancing construction projects and protecting the environment. Turning to sports this morning, and Caitlin Clark had 19 assists to break the WNBA game record in the Indiana Fever's 101-93 loss to the Dallas Wings Wednesday night in the final WNBA contest before the month-long quest for the Olympics. Clark won 18, set by Courtney Vandersloot for Chicago against Indiana on August 31st of 2020. Vandersloot also had 18 in a playoff game in 2021. The record breaker came on the play where she set Kelsey Mitchell for a three-pointer at 2.2 million. They lost and led the game career by 28 points. Clark finished with 24. Clark was hopeful about breaking the record of Boston Crest.
I think it's pretty cool. That community, the public could have been a few times where it's like accidentally some turnover that they had, issue the ball, but especially with Andy, I'm just doing those step up so much. Like now, there's always a lot of pressure for everybody else. This really is Andy, it's all the time, and I look out there. But yeah, we can still let you break with 3 and fun finish really well. The straight points in the game are pretty good. 62 points per game, so yeah.
Clark became only the second one in WNBA history to go over 200 assists in the season, joining Ticha Penichiero in 1988, Allison Sims, and Enrique Olawale, each had 24 points for Dallas. Natasha Howard had 17 points, 7 boards, and assists in 4 steals. One scored 100-plus points for the second time this season. And Steph Curry had 24 points. Bam Adebayo had 17. And the U.S. beat Serbia 105-79 to improve their 5-game state of exhibitions. Advance to the Paris Olympics. Anthony Davis had 7 points, 6 goals, and 6 blocks, helping to lead a U.S. defensive effort that pivoted Serbia throughout. Anthony Edwards had 16 points. LeBron James had 11. The Americans go to London to play 2 more tune-ups before heading to France. First is Saturday in South Sudan, followed by a matchup with Germany on Monday at London's O2. And 14-year-old Philadelphia Union midfielder David Sullivan became the youngest player in Major League Soccer history.
Okay, here we go.
In any of the biggest professional
Time to do the news and things. Let's go.
1 minute and 10 seconds, Adam. What am I doing? Okay. Nevada City. Speaking of Nevada City. Ha! There we go. Segue. It's called a segue, kids.
Oh, I just can't take some of that news anymore.
Woo. Okay. Here we go. Let's bring a positive spin to it, shall we, gang? 30 seconds. Inch by inch, row by row. I'm gonna make this garden grow. All we need is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. 15 seconds, Adam.
One. Request your free Support Your Local Police info packet by calling 800-GBS USA 1 today.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is July 18th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 6:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Nevada City. Currently, it is 65 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 95 degrees. All right, let's talk about another event for the calendar. Hey, if you missed it last night, you've still got a couple of opportunities to catch Hot Summer Nights. That's happening on Wednesdays in Nevada City. Speaking of Nevada City, we had one on yesterday on the 17th. We'll have one again on Wednesday, the 24th and the 31st of this month. It's from 6 to 9:30 p.m. Again, it's in downtown Nevada City. Now, this is for all ages. It's a free event. You know what Nevada City does. They do the whole Victorian Christmas thing where you just go up and down the streets and there's a lot of vendors and stuff out there to see. Well, let's do something like that for the summer. Hot Summer Nights is happening. It's a free event. Again, that's taking place on Wednesday evenings. It was last night, and you'll have another chance on the 24th and the 31st. During summer nights, Nevada City's landmark historic district is closed to vehicles and is filled with arts, food, drink, classic cars, and music. You'll find dozens of vendors, 5 stages of entertainment, kids' activities, including a bounce house and face painting and much more. You can find out more at nevadacitychamber.com, nevadacitychamber.com. And again, it's Hot Summer Nights. And boy, howdy, have they been hot lately. Wednesday, although yesterday was pleasant. Oh my gosh, was it nice. Happening on Wednesdays. Again, it's going to be the 24th and the 31st from 6 to 9:30 p.m. in downtown Nevada City. Again, you'll find vendors. You'll find 5 stages of entertainment, kids activities, including the bounce house, and face painting. Again, it's Hot Summer Nights in downtown Nevada City. Back with your KAHI News right after this.
Goddesses, Saturday mornings at 8, right here on the Voice of the Foothills. And this is Cindy from the Garden Goddesses. Thanks for being a loyal listener, and please join us every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 on KAHI, the Voice of the Foothills. And we will teach you all we know about gardening. I've learned so much myself, and I've only been here 2 months. You can learn so much.
Tarek, you aren't anymore, silly.
Absolutely. So join us every Saturday morning from 8 right here on the Voice of the Foothills.
And here's your KAHI News for this Thursday, July 18th. I'm Chris Quant. Northern California reservoirs in drought-like conditions despite productive winter. This is from Fox 40 News. Driving along Rollins Lake Road and over Rollins Reservoir, it would seem like California was in another drought year as the earth and water lines appear above the shrinking waters. In March, Fox40.com reported that the Nevada Irrigation District, or NID, was asking customers in the Nevada and Placer counties to begin conserving water usage as PG&E continued to make repairs along their stretch of the South Yuba Canal. The South Yuba Canal, which feeds Scotts Flat Reservoir, suffered rock slide damage in February, and the Drum Canal, which feeds Rollins Reservoir, was shut down as the PG&E Spalding 1 powerhouse had an unscheduled outage, according to NID. With an estimated return of partial flows by June 18th, NID was hoping that they would not have to enter summer dealing with a serious water shortage affecting some 80,000 customers. NID shared on June 10th that no water was flowing from the canals into either of the reservoirs, as Rollins Reservoir was around 92% of its total capacity. By June 17th, that capacity had dropped to 88%. In just under a month, Rollins Reservoir has dropped to just 44.5% of its total capacity of 69,000 acre-feet of water, according to NID. Quote, water supply continues to decline. Conservation is vital in the heat, and as NID remains cut off from its replenishing source, we can't emphasize enough how important it is to conserve water, unquote, NID shared in a social media post on Monday. On July 12th, NID said flows will resume along Drum Canal on July 30th as PG&E continues to make progress at Spalding 1 powerhouse. Repairs to the South Yuba Canal are expected to be completed on August 24th, according to NID. Firefighters contained 4.9 acres fire between Colfax and Iowa Hill. This is from the Auburn Journal. As of Wednesday morning, the Placer County Sheriff's Office reported CAL FIRE contained the fire that at 4.9 acres, and crews remained on scene. According to the Sheriff's Office, 2 fires were reported burning between Colfax and Iowa Hill in the area of Iowa Hill Road and Windy Point around 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Evacuation warnings were issued for the town of Iowa Hill and the areas along Iowa Hill Road between Wagon Trail and Big Dipper. No additional details regarding the fires have been released at this time. Back with more news after this.
Vince Harris for Homer Insurance, here to say you are only as good as the people you work with. Homer Insurance, we represent and work with 5-star A-rated carriers that are the best at what they do. Whether it's general liability for your business or getting a better rate on workers' compensation, at Homer we will find you the best policy at an amazing rate. Saving businesses money is what we do every day. No better time to save big money on your insurance than right now. We saved a beauty salon $2,200. We saved a general contractor $4,700, and we saved a private school $75,000. No matter what you do, you deserve to have the best insurance coverage at the best possible rate. Call 916-339-7070 and let Homer Insurance do the work for you. It takes one quick call to 916-339-7070 and then minutes to see what Homer can do for you. Call right now.
Because KAHI cares. Here's another KAHI Community Bulletin Board.
The American Cancer Society Discovery Shop needs your donations of new and gently used merchandise.
Do you have bric-a-brac?
Jewelry, bric-a-brac, home decor, and more.
What the heck is bric-a-brac?
Tax deductible.
What is that?
Cancer patients locally and nationwide. They also need volunteers daily. The Discovery Shop is located at 2376 Grass Valley Highway in Auburn. For more information, call 530.
J.D. Vance made his debut as Trump's VP nominee in a speech at the Republican National Convention. The Ohio senator and heir apparent to the MAGA movement channeled his upbringing in the Midwest to argue that he'd fight for working class Americans who had been, quote, cast aside and forgotten by Democrats. For Vance, a former venture capitalist in Silicon Valley, the speech was an opportunity to introduce himself to Americans.
Weekdays from 1 to 4 on the Voice of the Foothills, FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Continuing now with your KAHI news from the Morning Brew, J.D. Vance made his debut as Trump's VP nominee in a speech at the Republican National Convention. The Ohio senator and heir apparent to the MAGA movement channeled his upbringing in the Midwest to argue that he'd fight for working class Americans who had been, quote, cast aside and forgotten, unquote, by Democrats. For Vance, a former venture capitalist in Silicon Valley, the speech was an opportunity to introduce himself to Americans since nearly 2/3 of voters had never heard of him or had no opinion, per a CNN poll. Tonight, former President Trump will formally accept the GOP's nomination and close out the convention with a speech. Dems delay nomination plan amid calls for Biden to step aside. The Democratic National Committee said it would stick with its planned virtual roll call to officially make President Joe Biden the nominee in advance of the party's convention. But rather than beginning the virtual vote as soon as next week as originally planned, it won't start before August 1st. The new timeline gives donors and lawmakers concerned about Biden's ability to beat Republican nominee Donald Trump more time to make their case. Yesterday, Representative Adam Schiff urged Biden to drop out of the race, making the California Democrat who's running for Senate one of the most high-profile party members to do so. Guests found dead at luxury Thai hotel were likely poisoned by cyanide. Thai authorities said the poison was found in the blood of 6 people, including 2 U.S. citizens who were found dead inside a suite at Bangkok's 5-star Grand Hyatt Erawan. Police said cyanide was detectable in a teapot and coffee cups they drank from amidst a dispute involving bad investments, and law enforcement is now trying to determine whether the deaths were murder or suicide. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. The armorer on the set of Rust, who was convicted of manslaughter in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins, wants that conviction thrown out after the case against star Alec Baldwin collapsed. The UK approved lab-grown meat for pet food. Pernod Ricard is selling off a portfolio of wine brands, including Jacob's Creek, to focus on spirits and champagne as people drink less vino. And hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin paid $45 million for a Stegosaurus skeleton at a Sotheby's auction, setting a new record for fossil prices. And finally, from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is polyamory, meaning the state or practice of having more than one open romantic relationship at a time. Polyamory. And that's your KAHI News for this Thursday, July 18th. I'm Chris Quant. On now to the California Ag Report.
Ag Today, I'm Haley Schiff. This is the Ag Information Network. Unlucky number 13, although none of the others have really been lucky either. Oklahoma is the 13th state to detect bird flu in dairy cattle. The USDA confirmed it even though the infection happened months ago. Reuters says the confirmation shows the outbreak was more widespread than authorities knew after the virus was found in dairy cattle. Bird flu has been found in over 150 U.S. dairy.
All right, what are we going to talk about in the 7 o'clock hour? Swimming in the sign. Yikes. Could be pretty high on the yikes meter. The mayor, who actually shares the same name as my sister-in-law, Anne Hidalgo.
When it suspected its herd may have been infected. On its website, the USDA reported 2 positive herds in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Ag Department says the positive sample is from one dairy that has 2 separate barns. So 13 states. Here are the other states that felt the impact of a positive test. Those include Colorado, Idaho, Michigan, Texas, Iowa, New Mexico, Minnesota, South Kansas, North Carolina, Ohio, and Wyoming.
For over 40 years, the Ag Information Network has been providing news and information for the most important industry in the world, agriculture. The Ag Information Network gives you worldwide updates from local producers to regional organizations, from major crops like wheat and corn to animal agriculture.
I gotta look up Perfect Family Day.
Almonds and cherries. We report on stories
What the heck does that mean?
to you online at aginfo.net. The Ag Information
July
Network,
18th.
trusted and transparent journalism lasting for the next generation.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans
Love,
and their
support,
families
and
struggle
stability
with
to
rent,
its members.
employment, and other housing.
An ideal family. Okay, an ideal
Nation's
family can be
Finest
defined as a
operates in
unit
30
that
locations in
provides.
California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676.
Feel valued, respected, and understood. An ideal family fosters a positive environment for growth, learning, and emotional well-being.
As you age, you may have questions
Okay.
about transportation, health needs, or other services around your home and in your community. And the Elder Care Locator has the answers. And more.
Man has been married for over 35 years. Gets to say stuff to his wife. And the man has only been married for a couple of years and his teeth knocked out. Represented down at my dad's last year. It's a perfect family day, right? My dad is working a hamburger grill, smoking. His wife sees this and starts to go, I can't believe you're smoking in front of these brand new grandbabies. This is the most magical time of your life. You worked 35 years to replant this site. What's going to take 7 minutes of time off your life, not to mention the pressure trip with the air for these children. You have any idea how selfish you are? He doesn't even flinch. Stands there like, man, he's working the burgers. Lets her get it all out. Then he looks at her and goes, see, that's why nobody likes you.
And more. Now, with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and policies.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on the Voice of the Foothills.
Join me
Here we
each
go.
weekday morning right here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
the voice of the foothills.
30 seconds to the top of the hour, 6:59 a.m. Gang, that is 1 hour down. Boy, they go so fast. We've got a couple more to go here. Coming up in our next hour, we're going to have your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh, sigh, roll your eyes, probably. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com. Also, 3 headlines and a lie. Pausing now for station identification.
K283CM Auburn and AM 950 KAHR Auburn.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is July 18th, and it is a right smack dab at the top of the hour. It is 7 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills, Chris Quant, holding it down in beautiful Studio A here in the KAHI studios. Excited for this. I don't know why I'm so jazzed for this Thursday, but I am jazzed for this Thursday. I hope you are too. If it is your birthday today, by the way, happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day today. I don't know if it's just the luck of the draw, but whoever was born on this day, you share it with some people who have some really great quotes that I think are pretty inspiring and pretty uplifting. And I'm going to read those here in just a minute. But just to think about, hey, you know, we feel like we're in a pretty, just whatever your opinion is of the world out there, divided, not unified, seems more angry than it has been in a while. Listen, everybody, let's all just take some moments just to, everybody just breathe. Everybody just take a breath, breathe in, just enjoy the nice sun that's rising on our faces right now. Maybe go out and face the sun for a little bit, get some vitamin D on your face. Get your day started off right here. Maybe do some stretches. My gosh, as I'm getting older, is it important to stretch? As I'm finding out. Everybody just stretch for a second. And let's take some encouragement from some folks who have a birthday today. The first one is Nelson Mandela having a birthday today. Nelson Mandela, born on this in 1918. Here's a quote from him. It's just a great series of quotes from the birthday folks today. Nelson Mandela, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. That's from Nelson Mandela. Another birthday boy, John Glenn. You've heard of him. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of his spacecraft now when he was up in the air. Friendship 7, I think it was. Wasn't it Friendship 7? Anyway, John Glenn, born on this day in 1921. Also a politician, but also a spaceman, an astronaut up there. If there's one thing I've learned in my years on this planet, it's that the happiest and most fulfilled people I've known are those who devoted themselves to something bigger and more profound than merely their own self-interest. That's from John Glenn. And another birthday boy today, Red Skelton. You know Red Skelton, American actor, comedian, born on this day in 1913. Red Skelton said, I personally believe that each of us was put here for a purpose, to build, to build, not to destroy. If I can make people smile, then I have served my purpose for God. I love that, to build, to not destroy. So, gang, let's commit to going out there and building something today, whether it's something actually that you're building, you're working on a project, if it's building a relationship, if it's just building up your endurance to go walk a little bit farther, run a little bit farther, smile at 5 people, wave at 5 people, or wave at one person. Maybe you just want to pay for the coffee of the person in line behind you. Let's just commit to making our world a little bit better place, a little bit nicer place today, as we go about our day today. And if it is your birthday, happy stinking birthday to you today. Now, I was looking at, as I do. Okay, I was thinking real quick also about this song. I play the song at the top of the hour. It's the Baby Elephant Walk. Okay, we got it, Adam. We just heard it. Okay. And I was talking, my sister was in town. I was so thankful for my family to be able to visit with me last week. It's crazy that they're already gone already. That week went by so fast, but it was good to have them in town. They came in from Kansas, although my parents were from here, but I don't feel like I don't know why I feel like I have to qualify that. No, we're from here, but they moved to Kansas. But anyway, that's where they are. And I told my sister, I'm like, do you remember that song, The Baby Elephant Walk, that Grandma used to play for us when we were going to sleep, when we would spend the night at Grandma's house? And she said, I sure do. And then I said, I played that at the top of the 7 o'clock hour on my show. And she's like, yeah, I noticed it. And I said, do you know why I think we like that tape? It was a cassette tape, kids. For those that don't know what a cassette tape is, it's one of those little things where you have to rewind it or fast forward it to get to the song that you want. You had to be patient back in those days. You actually had to do a thing and press a button and wait for it. And if you didn't time it right, you had to hit the thing and hit the rewind and tap it until you get right to the start of the song. But you know why we like that? James Galloway, the flautist, I think flautist is the term for somebody who plays the flute. And Henry Mancini, they did this collaboration. I think the reason that we liked it is because it had the cover of the cassette tape was the Pink Panther. It was the Pink Panther cartoon. So like, oh, great, this is like cartoons. That it's bright, it's shiny. I think this is why we like that music for me. So her and I were going down a memory lane of thinking about, oh yeah, the Baby Elephant Walk. Grandma used to play that for us. And so it's just personal to me. It's sentimental to me. And it's all that to say today is Perfect Family Day. So welcome to Perfect Family Day. It's the old saying, if you think you've found the perfect organization, don't join it because you'll ruin it. People just ruin things. And so I don't know about Perfect Family Day. Maybe just stay off of social media if you're looking for the perfect family, because I don't think there is one out there. But I looked it up. I'm like, how are we defining Perfect Family Day? And I don't know if there's any perfect family. But what they do say is for a perfect family, what is the definition of a perfect family? Well, an ideal family, they didn't say a perfect family, they said an ideal family can be defined as a unit that provides love, support, and stability to its members. It's a family where each member feels valued, respected, and understood. An ideal family fosters a positive environment for growth, learning, and emotional well-being. Now, the old saying goes, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. I think that's ideal. I don't think we get all of those things, or maybe we get different things at different times. But you know what? I'm just thankful. I'll just speak for me. I can't speak for you, but I'll just speak for me that I'm grateful that I've got some family members in my life that I can lean on for that. And some of us might have that. Maybe some that are family members that we can't really trust for that and lean on them. But we just like you to think about, I guess I'm just filled with gratitude today. To be grateful for those family members that you've got in your life that you can lean on, that you can trust, whether that's immediate family or extended family. Maybe it's family that you married into. My gosh, do I feel lucky about the family that I married into. Visiting my mother-in-law yesterday. She's got a little heart issues going on. We were in the hospital with her yesterday, and she should be getting out today. And the doctors are looking, her outlook's looking good here. But with all the family that were coming in and stopping by and seeing her and the friends, it may not be a perfect family, but there was love in the room. And so I hope that you've got love in your room and in your heart for your family as well. I don't know. I'm waxing a little bit nostalgic and poetic right now, but hopefully setting your day off on a good one. Just, again, being grateful, being thankful for what we have in front of us. As you know, the news, there's a lot. It's real heavy in the news right now. And just want us to take some time just to kind of remember those that we love and that love us as we go about our day today. It's going to be a good day. And for that, we need to find out just how good it's going to be. It might be hot, it might be good, but we're going to find out from meteorologist Tim Root. Timmy, give us some news. What are we looking at today?
Thursday weather forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. It'll be hot in the mid-90s and a southwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight around 66, and it'll be partly to mostly sunny Friday. The high very close to 100. It'll be very close to 100 over the weekend. Mostly sunny skies Saturday and Sunday, and light breezes over the course of Saturday and Sunday. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Not able to tune into AM 950 KAHI whenever you want? That's not fair. Have a strict boss that only listens to music and never local news? He's not very informed then, but you knew that. Don't worry, you can get KAHI's up-to-the-minute news information and local advice from our talented KAHI news team anywhere you want now. Follow KAHI on Twitter or like KAHI on Facebook to receive local news updates multiple times a day. You can also download our KAHI radio app at KAHI.com and enjoy the voice of the foothills at AM 950 KAHI at any time, day or night.
Hi, this is Mike Nichols. What are you doing Sunday?
Sunday, baby.
Join me for the KAHI Swap Shop this Sunday morning at 8. If you have something to sell, or if you're looking for something, maybe you're having a yard sale, or perhaps you have a freebie you want to give away, you can give me a call and we can chat about it live on the air.
What do you say now? 'Cause it's a nice day now. What are you doing Sunday, baby?
Did you ever wonder where we get a word like whole kit and caboodle. I'm Martha Barnett, along with Grant Barrett.
Each week on The Way with Words, we try to solve linguistic mysteries.
And we invite you to call us with your questions about language. We want to hear from you about words and phrases, regional dialects, grammar, or maybe that weird family expression you grew up with.
So join us on The Way with Words, Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. here on the Voice of the Foothills, AM 950 KAHI.
9 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:09 a.m. And right after we take a break here, we're going to talk about, it turns out if you jumped in the Seine River, that's that river that flows through the middle of Paris. You know, it's the one that Javert fell face first into in Les Miserables. Pretty high on the yikes meter. Don't go in the Seine, but it's a high-ranking Parisian official jumped into the Seine the other day to make a point. We'll find out what that is here in just a little bit.
This month brought to the fore concerns of Russian meddling in those countries' electoral process, just as they have in our own elections for the past 8 years and continuing today. It is known that Russian operatives target already existing divisions among political in Western European countries and seek to capitalize on those divisions, stoking them and widening them, in hopes it will add to voter confusion, anxiety, and reduce morale and trust in the democratic process. This is all to Russia's advantage as it pursues its invasion of Ukraine, hoping to weaken its support among NATO member countries. But this begs the question for the average citizen. How do you know if what you're reading on social media or in the news you listen to, or as reported a few months ago, what is spoken on the floor of the American House of Representatives is the truth or Russian propaganda? I know it's a pain, but you need to do your homework, or as an informed citizen, you'll get an F. I'm Dr. Dave Davidson Matteau with the Mental Health Minute, a public service of Sierra Hills Individual and Family Therapy in Auburn.
Radio Miguel.
Hungarian Radio,
Krzysiek Mogam Radio.
the famous radio production company,
BMI Radio na Twitchie.
is now creating wonderful radio commercials
O USA.
in the United States of America.
Bała się to ten
You've
radio.
heard their radio spots
Bolabo.
for newspapers,
Kanala.
ice cream,
Sos.
beer,
Telefon.
telephones,
Sos.
and beer.
Bała mi kogoś na Radio Motoral.
Your company can have excellent radio commercials too.
Telefon na Radio
Call this radio station
na Radio Magiarisch.
or call Hungarian Radio
Jerelen Tegzicia.
and ask for Tegzi Chuck.
No.
Chuck Tegzi,
Fog Kerun.
the Minister of Production.
Dem hamaloma cassettes KAHI go da bost.
They will build little cassettes for you
KAHI go da bost.
and put tape in them
Is Jolmak.
with words on it
Bała się Torten.
about your company.
Radio Chefen.
Pretty simple.
Holbana Bosto.
What do you say
Ferdi.
to that?
12 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:12 a.m. Good gracious, some of those commercials crack me up sometimes. My wife and I will look at each other sometimes, especially after we hear a commercial like that, or if we're at a movie and there's a funny commercial that plays, we'll say, I give whoever came up with that a raise. Or if it was bad, I'm like, nah, I think they need to be fired. But that was a good one. I think I'm going to have add to my cards, morning host and minister of production now. Adam, add those to my cards. That is fantastic. All right, before we went to a little break there, we talked about jumping in the Seine River. The river that flows through the middle of Paris is pretty high on the yikes meter. And actually, as a matter of fact, going into that river, it's been illegal since 1923 as trash and sewage floated free into its waters. But yesterday, the mayor of Paris, who happens to share the same name as my sister-in-law, Anne Hidalgo, the mayor swam in the Seine River yesterday morning to prove how clean it was, despite reports of high E. coli levels in June and threats from angry Parisians to increase those levels by basically, doing their business in the river. The mayor's dip was meant to show the Olympic marathon swimmers and Olympic Paralympic triathletes set to compete in the Seine at the end of the month that it's safe after a decade of murky waters. It's been illegal since 1923 because apparently they just trash and sewage. But don't people go? Now, I've been to Paris. I've walked along the banks of the Seine River. I don't remember it smelling particularly bad or seeing trash floating in the water, but I also didn't go in the water and had no desire to go into the water. But basically, they have spent $1.5 billion in a cleanup effort. So the river is seemingly ready to dive into. And again, the mayor dove in yesterday. Much of the money went into building giant basin to hold rainwater overflow that could contaminate the river water. And officials had to get thousands of, even it's 2024, y'all. Officials had to get thousands of homes and buildings along the river to link up to the official sewage system instead of just dumping into the Seine. So my goodness gracious. So far it's a go, but there's no backup venue for the triathlons, even though too much rain could still muck up the waters and affect the flow. So, if you're a triathlete going, wear your swim goggles and wear your swim shoes before you head in there, and don't eat a half an hour before you go in. But yeah, apparently they're trying to clean up the sign, so it's good enough to jump into without any threat of any sewage flowing through. Anyway, all right, we need to turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report.
I'm Neil Canuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More people were signing up for unemployment benefits last week. The number of new claims rose by 20,000 to 243,000. Continuing claims, those remaining on benefits, rose to 1.8 million. The European Central Bank left interest rates unchanged this morning, saying price pressures are still high. Domino's Pizza reported higher sales in its recent quarter, helped by promotions and better service, though Wall Street expected even stronger numbers and the stock is lower. Ford will build diesel and gas-powered Super Duty trucks at its plant in Ontario, Canada, which previously was planned for an all-electric truck factory. Ford says the location will also support next-generation multi-energy technology. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Posola, invested in you.
Success. It's discipline.
Okay, it's time for our daily dad jokes.
Passion inside of us that comes before all recognition. It's the best of each of us made better by the best in all of us. It's what Stifel's been doing for over 130 years. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management and investment banking firms in the industry. Stifel. It's where success meets success. Start your journey at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SI.
In the heating and air conditioning business, the state of California has millions of regulations.
But surprisingly,
almost nothing when it comes to the technical knowledge required of a heating and air technician.
That means they can send a salesman to your home that looks like a true technician but knows next to nothing when servicing your heating and air system. His only focus is to sell you a new one. That'll never happen with Big Mountain's 2-for-1 rejuvenation of the heating and air system. With our 2 to 3 hour truly comprehensive 2-part service.
Told the waitress my coffee tasted like mud. It should. It was fresh ground this morning.
Breakdown, or the service will be free all year long. Total cost $78 or save $2,500 on a brand new heating and air system plus an additional $500 rebate. Replace your old R22 system. Details at 916-378-6270 or
BigMountainAir.com. Hey there, KAHI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the Morning along with Matt Ray in America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the Morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
18 minutes past the top of the hour. If it's early for you, it is 7:18 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh, sigh. I'm guessing you'll probably roll your eyes. You can send me yours, live@kahi.com. That's an email address, live@kahi.com. Or you can call me, 530-885-3565. Send me your dad jokes. Let me know what yours has. We'll check the inbox here in just a little bit. And a little bit later on in this hour, we've got 3 headlines and a lie. That's right. 3 headlines are completely true, no matter how zany they seem. 1 is completely made up. Can you guess which one is the odd one out? 3 headlines and a lie, and also daily dad jokes coming up next at the bottom of the hour. Back now to America's First News, and I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Thursday morning, America's First News.
Okay, Told the waitress my coffee tasted like mud. My coffee tastes like mud. It should. It was fresh ground this morning.
39-year-old Ohio senator offered his life story as a son of Appalachia.
Oh, let's do that one.
My name is J.D. Vance from the great state of Ohio. For all Americans who don't watch the video, there would be a sensible coming before the lynch from taking his life. Consider the lies they told you about Donald Trump, and then look at that photo of him defining fixed in the air when Donald Trump rose to his feet in that Pennsylvania field. All of America stood. And so tonight, Mr. President,
All right. Have the email here. This one from Micah. I caught him teething on the electrical cords. I had to ground him. He's doing better currently and conducting himself well. Ooh, solid. That's a good one.
For half a century, he's been the champion of every major policy initiative to make America weaker and poorer.
Okay.
And in 4 short years, Donald Trump reversed decades of betrayals inflicted by Joe Biden and the rest of the corrupt Washington insiders.
All right. There's the mud one. Let's see. Bad day coffee, good day coffee, stressed coffee, happy coffee, inspired coffee, coffee, anxiety, decaf. That's good. There we go. Oh, rotate. File. What did that? Ooh, cancel. Open. I can't rotate it. Okay, weird. Okay, there we go. And today is dad jokes about listening since it's National Listening. Let's see what else is today. Today is Perfect Family Day. Dad jokes about family. Dad jokes about family. Laugh Factory family jokes. Oh, these are long.
He's 13. 13. So my son simply asked him after he had served me, he said, "Man, please have a cup of ice." And the flight attendant didn't hear him, so he pushed the car past me because I'm in the aisle. And I reached over right up in my hand first and trying to get his attention, and he didn't see it. So I lightly tapped him on the shoulder. When I did that, he swung his arm around and said, "Don't hit me."
What holds the sun up in the sky? Sunbeams. What did the little corn say to the mama corn? When's popcorn? I think I already said those. What did the ocean say that nothing? It just waved. Which of the favorite vacation spot like Ghost, like Erie? Why did the prune decide to tomato for a picnic? Because it couldn't find its date. Why did the prune decide to take the tomato for a picnic? Because it couldn't find its date. Who's there? Gladys. Gladys who? Gladys Summer. What did the fisherman say when the fishing line got tangled? Something appears to be wrong. Okay. What's a fish with no eye? What's a fish with no eye? No eye? Eyes called? All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. We got those ready to go. All right. Off now to edit the news. 4 minutes.
On the entertainment front, with less entries due to the shortened TV season, this year's Emmy nominations probably won't spark any protest campaign. Folks at FX should be popping bottles for a standout year. 93 nominations, including 25 nods for Shogun and 23 for The Bear. The nominations bring over to acknowledgement from critical favorites like FX's Reservoir Dogs and What We Do in the Shadows, fresh competition, including Shogun actors Hannah Sawai and Hiroyuki Sanada. Lily Gladstone and Kelly Reese became the first female Indigenous actor to be nominated for Emmys. Gladstone for Under the Bridge and Reese for True Detective Night Coach. Reservoir Dogs was nominated in the Best Comedy Series for category for what is its final season. And a meteor streaked over the New York City skyline before disintegrating over nearby New Jersey, according to NASA. The head of the space agency's Meteor Environments Office said the fireball was first sighted at an altitude of 51 miles above Manhattan at about 11:17 a.m. Tuesday. It passed over the southern part of Newark before disintegrating 31 miles above the town of Mountainside. No meteorites or other fragments of space debris reached the planet's surface. The space rock moved at a speed of about 41,000 miles per hour. Its exact trajectory is uncertain since reports are based only on eyewitness accounts and no camera or satellite data is currently available.
Breaking news first. America's First News. Coast to Coast with Matt Ray. We'll be right back.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of a typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, and you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can say. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40. This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years, stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020. That's 800-878-6020. 800-878-6020.
And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, July 18th, and apparently I am not paying attention. It is 31 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:31, here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. Currently, it is, as soon as I can find it here, my goodness gracious, 71 degrees, looking for a high today of 99 degrees. How could I miss it? Adam, yeah, let me know when we're on the air next time. It is time for your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh, sigh, probably roll your eyes. All right, let's go to our inbox. We've got here one from Micah T. I got my son teething on electrical cords. I had to ground him. Oh, but he's not done yet. He's doing better currently and conducting himself well. Micah, well done. I caught my son teething on electrical cords. I had to ground him. He's doing better currently and conducting himself well. Well done on that one. Well, that's just one right after the other. Here we go. Here's another one for you. Told the waitress my coffee tasted like mud. It should. It was fresh. It was fresh ground this morning. That's pretty good. Told the waitress my coffee tasted like mud. She said it should. It was fresh ground this morning. There we go. All right. And finally, we've got a couple of, actually, speaking of coffee, found this outside of a coffee shop yesterday, a sign that said, it's those A-frame sign that said, bad day, coffee, good day, coffee, stressed, coffee, happy, coffee, inspired, coffee, 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 anxiety, decaf. That was good. I like that. All right. And just for time, let's just do one dad joke for summer here. Why should you never blame a dolphin for doing anything wrong? Because they never do it on porpoise. Porpoise? Porpoise. Anyway, there we go. And those have been your daily dad jokes. For this Thursday, July 18th. Again, send me yours live at KAHI.com. Back with more after this. $33 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your KAHI News, your Fox Business Report. Also, 3 headlines and a lie. That's right. Every Thursday, we do 3 headlines and a lie. 3 headlines, no matter how zany they sound, are actually true. 1 headline, completely false, completely made up. We'll see if you can guess which one is the fake one on 3 headlines and a lie coming up in our next segment, along with your KAHI News. Back now to America's First News, and I'll see you here, hopefully on time next time, in just a little bit. Woo. All right, let's talk about the Colfax Farmers Market.
Who has released minimal medical information throughout his political career. When he first ran in 2016, he declined to release full medical records, instead releasing a note from a doctor that declared Trump was
Okay.
infected with coronavirus. In the midst of his 2020 re-election campaign, his doctors and aides withheld information about how sick he was and key details of his treatment. It comes as Trump tries to question the health of President Joe Biden, as Trump is only 3 years younger. President Biden, meanwhile, tested positive for COVID-19 traveling Wednesday in Las Vegas and is experiencing mild symptoms from the infection, according to the White House. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said Biden will fly to his home in Delaware, self-isolate, and continue to carry out all of his duties fully during that time. The news had been first shared by Unidos U.S. President and CEO Janet Reguilla.
I was just on the phone with President Biden, and I heard his deep disappointment in not being able to join us this afternoon. The president has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID. So, of course, we understand that he needs to take the precautions that have been recommended. He did not obviously want to put anybody at risk. He said to tell my boss that we're not going to get rid of him that quickly. We're going to have a chance to hear from him in the future directly.
Biden's canceled appearance came as nearly 2/3 of Democrats say he should withdraw from the presidential race and let his party nominate a different candidate, according to a new poll, sharply undercutting his post-debate claim that average Democrats are still with him, even if some big names are turning on him. The new Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll conducted as Biden works to salvage his candidacy 2 weeks after his debate flop also found that only 3 in 10 Democrats are extremely or very confident that he has the mental capability to serve effectively as president, down slightly from 40% in an AP NORC poll in February.
Is there anything that you would look to, you personally, not anybody else, not other pundits, not even perhaps family members, that you would look to say, if I see that, I will reevaluate?
If I had some medical condition that emerged, if somebody, the doctors came in and said, you got this problem, that problem. But I made a serious mistake in the whole debate. And look, when I originally ran, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate. And I thought that I'd be able to move from this, just pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided. And quite frankly, I think the only thing age brings a little bit of wisdom. And I think I've demonstrated that I know how to get things done for the country, in spite of the fact that we couldn't get it done. But there's more to do, and I'm reluctant to walk away from that.
Biden making remarks to BET News. California Representative Adam Schiff on Wednesday became the highest profile Democrat. They called for Biden to drop his re-election bid, even as the party pushed ahead with plans for a virtual vote to formally make Biden its nominee in the first week of August. Several tons of fish have died along one of the main rivers in Brazil's Sao Paulo state after an alleged illegal dumping of industrial waste from a sugar and ethanol plant. Environmental authorities and prosecutors said Wednesday that a preliminary analysis estimates that between 10 and 20 tons of fish died on the Piracicaba River in southeastern Brazil. Initial investigation points to an irregular discharge of wastewater from a Estiva São Jose plant in the community of Rio das Pedras, and it reached a stream that flows into the river, according to prosecutors. On Wednesday, a carpet of floating fish corpses covered the waterway, littering stretches of the river. Environmental officials say it will take years to recover. South Korea's president Thursday appointed a former North Korean diplomat as a vice minister, the highest level government job for any of the thousands of North Koreans who have resettled in South Korea. Tae Yong-ho was a minister of the North Korean embassy in London when he defected to South Korea in 2016. Tae is the highest ranking North Korean who has resettled in South Korea in recent years. He said he did so because he did not want his children to live miserable lives in North Korea, and he fell into despair over Kim Jong-un's executions of officials and nuclear ambitions. Britain's new Labour Party government promised to calm the country's politics and ease its cost of living crisis as it set out its plans for national renewal at the grand state opening of Parliament Wednesday. Stabilizing the UK's public finances and spurring economic growth were at the center of Prime Minister Keir Starmer's legislative agenda, announced in a speech written by government officials and delivered by King Charles.
My government recognizes the urgency of the global climate challenge and the new job opportunities that can come from leading the development of the technologies of the future. It is committed to a clean energy transition which will lower energy bills for consumers over time. My government will continue to give its full support to Ukraine and its people, and it will endeavour to play a leading role in providing Ukraine the clear path to NATO membership. My government will play its part in trying to secure long-term peace and security in the Middle East. It is committed to a two-state solution with a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable and sovereign Palestinian state.
Starmer, who's moved his left-leaning party toward the center since becoming Labour leader in 2020, campaigned on a promise to bring bold change to Britain at modest cost to taxpayers. He aims to be both pro-worker and pro-business in favor of vast new construction projects and protecting the environment. Turning to sports this morning, and Caitlin Clark had 19 assists to break the WNBA game record in the Indiana Fever's 101-93 loss to the Dallas Wings Wednesday night in the final WNBA contest before the month-long break for the Olympics. Clark broke the mark of 18 at 9:40 in Chicago against Indiana on August 31st of 2020. Vandersloot also had 18 in a playoff game in 2021. The record breaker came on a play where she set Kelsey Mitchell up for a three-pointer with 2:22 remaining. Leah Boston led Indiana with a career-high 28 points. Clark finished with 24. Clark was humble about breaking the record, but Boston praised her.
She's going to say me something. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm just trying to set my teammates up for success. I think at times, like, I can almost overpass, and that can maybe, there probably could have been a few times where instead of passing the things off turnover that I had, I can shoot the ball, but especially with the NBA, like, I'm just looking to set her up so much. Like, my eye is always on her push players, whether that's this or whether that's NBA or whoever's giving me the time, and then kind of look out from there. But yeah, I mean, it's still been shooting very good from three, and I thought we finished really well. And I'm sure our points in the paint were pretty good. 62 points in the paint, so
Clark became only the second rookie in the WNBA history to go over 200 assists in the season, joining Teja Penatiero in 1998, Odyssey Sims, and Enrique Odumbawale, each had 24 points for Dallas. Natasha Howard had 17 points, 7 boards, 8 assists, and 4 steals. The Wings scored 100-plus points for the second time this season. And Steph Curry had 24 points. Bam Adebayo had 17, and the U.S. beat Serbia 105-79 to improve to 3-0 in its 5-game slate of exhibitions in advance of the Paris Olympics. Anthony Davis had 7 points, 6 boards, and 6 blocks, helping to lead a U.S. defensive effort that limited Serbia throughout. Anthony Edwards had 16 points. LeBron James added 11. The Americans go to London to play 2 more tune-ups before heading to France. First this Saturday against South Sudan, followed by a matchup with Germany on Monday at London's O2. And 14-year-old Philadelphia Union midfielder Kevin Sullivan became the youngest player in Major League Soccer history Wednesday night, and probably the youngest to play in any of the biggest professional sports leagues in the world. Sullivan was 14 years and 293 days old when he entered Philadelphia's home game as a substitute in the 85th minute against the New England Revolution. That makes him about 2 weeks younger than Freddie Adu when he made his MLS debut in 2004 for DC United. Sullivan made his debut moments after his brother, 20-year-old Quinn, scored a goal to put Philadelphia up 5-1.
America's First News will be right back.
In 2024, the American Heart Association celebrates 100 years of life-saving service as the world's leading nonprofit organization focused on heart and brain health. Heart disease still kills more people in the United States each year than all types of cancer combined, but more than half of Americans are unaware of this fact, according to a recent Harris Poll survey conducted for the American Heart Association. However, the majority of heart disease is preventable.
Okay.
New research
I think we can make it on time.
led by the American Heart Association, have reduced deaths from heart disease by half over the past century and helped people with heart disease live longer and more productive lives while managing their condition and risk factors. To learn more about the American Heart Association's century of service and how you can help,
10 seconds, Adam. Okay, here we go. And good Thursday morning to you. It is July 18th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Colfax. Currently, it is 74 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 96 degrees. Hey, speaking of Colfax, let's talk about what's going on there today. If you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, the Colfax Farmers Market is happening. The Farmers Market, there we go, is happening today. It's happening every Thursday. It's from 4 to 7 p.m. Should be pretty, well, compared to last week, it'll be pretty nice out there. So again, from 4 to 7 p.m. today, there's going to be organic, local produce, baked goods, flowers, crafts, vendors, games, music, and let's not forget the family fun on this perfect family day, or maybe just ideal family day. It's going to be in downtown Colfax. That's at South Main Street. If you want to find out more, you can email colfaxfarmersmarket@gmail.com, or you can call Jennifer at 916-903-6037. Maybe you want to be a part of it. Give Jennifer a call at 916-903-6037. Again, it's the Sierra Vista Community presenting. Not preventing, presenting. There we go. The Colfax Farmers Market. And again, it's every Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. in downtown Colfax. That's on South Main Street. Again, you're going to find organic local produce, baked goods, flowers, crafts, vendors, game, music, family fun. How can you beat that? It's going to be from 4 to 7 p.m. Again, that's today and every Thursday in downtown Colfax. Back with your KAHI News right after this.
Sundays right here on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI. Join Frank and his friends, Sandy, Dean, Tony Bennett, and more, performing songs from the Great American Songbook. Sinatra and Friends Weekends, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishing on Folsom Boulevard in Rancho Cordova. Right here on the voice of the 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
And here's your KAHI News for Thursday, July 18th. I'm Chris Quant. Northern California reservoirs in drought-like conditions despite productive winter. This is from Fox 40 News. Driving along Rollins Lake Road and over Rollins Reservoir, it would seem like California was in another drought year as the earthen waterline marks appear above the shrinking waters. In March, Fox40.com reported that the Nevada Irrigation District, or NID, was asking its customers in Nevada and Placer counties to begin conserving water usage as PG&E continued to make repairs along their stretch of the South Yuba Canal. The South Yuba Canal, which feeds Scotts Flat Reservoir, suffered rock slide damage in February, and the Drum Canal, which feeds Rollins Reservoir, shut down as the PG&E Spalding 1 powerhouse had an unscheduled outage, according to NID. With an estimated return of partial flows by June 18th, NID was hoping that they would not have to enter summer dealing with a serious water shortage affecting some 80,000 customers. NID shared on June 10th that no water was flowing from the canals into either of the reservoirs, as Rollins Reservoir was around 92% of its total capacity. By June 17th, that capacity had dropped to 88%. In just under a month, Rollins Reservoir has dropped to just 44.5% of its total capacity of 69,000 acre-feet of water, according to NID. Quote, water supply continues to decline. Conservation is vital in the heat, and as NID remains cut off from its replenishing source, we can't emphasize enough how important it is to conserve water, unquote, NID shared in a social media post on Monday. On July 12th, NID said flows will resume along Drum Canal on July 30th as PG&E continues to make progress at Spalding 1 powerhouse. Repairs to the South Yuba Canal are expected to be completed on August 24th, according to NID. Firefighters contain 4.9-acre fire between Colfax and Iowa Hill. This is from the Auburn Journal. As of Wednesday morning, the Placer County Sheriff's Office reported CAL FIRE contained the fire at 4.9 acres, and crews remained on scene. According to the sheriff's office, 2 fires were reported burning between Colfax and Iowa Hill in the area of Iowa Hill Road and Windy Point around 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Evacuation warnings were issued for the town of Iowa Hill and the areas along Iowa Hill Road between Wagon Trail and Big Dipper. No additional details regarding the fires have been released at this time. Back with more news after this. Plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. I never miss it, and neither should you. And neither should you. Continuing now with your KAHI news from the Morning Brew, J.D. Vance made his debut at as Trump's VP nominee. In a speech at the Republican National Convention, the Ohio senator and heir apparent to the MAGA movement channeled his upbringing in the Midwest to argue he'd fight for working-class Americans who had been, quote, cast aside and forgotten, unquote, by Democrats. For Vance, a former venture capitalist in Silicon Valley, the speech was an opportunity to introduce himself to Americans, since nearly 2/3 of voters had never heard of him or had no opinion, per a CNN poll. Tonight, former President Trump will formally accept the GOP's nomination and close out the convention with a speech. Dems delay nomination plan amid calls for Biden to step aside. The Democratic National Committee said it would stick with its planned virtual roll call to officially make President Joe Biden the nominee in advance of the party's convention. But rather than beginning the virtual vote as soon as next week as originally planned, it won't start before August 1st. The new timeline gives donors and lawmakers Erewhon, the Grand Hyatt Erewhon. The Grand Hyatt Erewhon. All right. Continuing now with your KAHI news from the Morning Brew, J.D. Vance made his debut as Trump's VP nominee. In a speech at the Republican National Convention, the Ohio senator and heir apparent to the MAGA movement channeled his upbringing in the Midwest to argue he'd fight for working-class Americans who had been, quote, cast aside and forgotten, unquote, by Democrats. For Vance, a former venture capitalist in Silicon Valley, the speech was an opportunity to introduce himself to Americans, since nearly 2/3 of voters had never heard of him or had no opinion, per a CNN poll. Tonight, former President Trump will formally accept the GOP's nomination and close out the convention with a speech. Dems delay nomination plan amid calls for Biden to step aside. The Democratic National Committee said it would stick with its planned virtual roll call to officially make President Joe Biden the nominee in advance of the party's convention. But rather than beginning the virtual vote as soon as next week as originally planned, it won't start before August 1st. The new timeline gives donors and lawmakers concerned about Biden's ability to beat Republican nominee Donald Trump more time to make their case. Yesterday, Representative Adam Schiff urged Biden to drop out of the race, making the California Democrat who's running for Senate one of the most high-profile party members to do so. And guests found dead at luxury Thai hotel were likely poisoned by cyanide. Thai authorities said the poison was found in the blood of the 6 people, including 2 U.S. citizens who were found dead inside a suite at Bangkok's 5-star Grand Hyatt Erewhon. Police said cyanide was detectable in a teapot and the coffee cups they drank from amidst a dispute involving bad investments, and law enforcement is now trying to determine whether the deaths were murder or suicide. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. The armorer on the set of Rust, who was convicted of manslaughter in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins, wants that conviction thrown out after the case against star Alec Baldwin collapsed. The UK approved lab-grown meat for pet food. Pernod, there we go. We'll go with that. Ricard is selling off a portfolio of wine brands, including Jacob's Creek, to focus on spirits and champagne as people drink less vino. And hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin paid $45 million for a Stegosaurus skeleton at a Sotheby's auction, setting a new record for fossil prices. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is polyamory, meaning the state or practice of having more than one open romantic relationship at a time. Polyamory. And that's your KAHI News for this Thursday, July 18th. I'm Chris Quant. Back with more after this.
He's cured him. Some kind of contest at the sound of Van Camp's funny cough. Be the 10th caller. Marley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays 1 to 4. Voice of the Foothills. FM 104.5. AM 950. KAHI. Tune in to the KAHI Corral every Saturday at 7 a.m. here on the Voice of the Foothills.
Just a minute. All right. 3 of these headlines are real, and one is faker than a tornado siren to a Midwesterner with a garage. Can you spot the odd one out? Timothy Chalamet stars in Josh Safdie A24 movie about a ping pong pro. The Sims 4 will finally introduce polyamory in a free update.
Join Connie and cast of thousands on the KAHI Corral Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. here on 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com. I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
I'm Stuart Varney. The app that promised to use AI to weed out daters with STIs has been shut down, and construction workers listening to Def Leppard completed projects 13% faster. Which one is the odd one out?
Enjoy summer savings now at Sunrise Natural Foods. All Life Seasons Neuro Q products for 30% off, and all Medi Natura products for 35% off. And remember, those 55% save 15% every Wednesday, and everyone can save on hundreds of products every day. If you're looking for the best savings on goods for your health journey, shop at Sunrise Natural Foods in Auburn and in Roseville, or online at sunrisenaturalfoods.net. Sunrise Natural Foods. Save the life's best ingredients.
2 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:58 a.m. All right, it's Thursday. That means it's time for 3 headlines and a lie. 3 of these headlines completely true, no matter how odd they seem. One is completely made up. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to read these a couple times. We'll pause for the top of the hour identification, and then we'll pay this off here in the next hour. But here we go. Everybody have your pens and your paper out, ready to mark out which one that you think is the one that is made up. Here we go. First headline. Timothy Chalamet to star in Josh Safdie A24 movie about a ping pong pro. That's headline number 1. The Sims 4 will finally introduce polyamory in a free update. That's number 2. 3. The app that promised to use AI to weed out daters with STIs has been shut down. That's headline number 3. And headline number 4 here. Are you ready for it? Construction workers listening to Def Leppard completed projects 13% faster. So those are your 3 headlines, 4 headlines total. One of them is a lie. Let's talk about it here real quick before we have to pause for the top of the hour. Again, Timothy Chalamet to star in Josh Safdie A24 movie about Ping Pong Pro. The Sims 4 will finally introduce polyamory in free update. The app that promised to use AI to weed out daters with STIs has been shut down. And number 4, construction workers listening to Def Leppard complete projects 13% faster. Pausing. Back right after this. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, July 18th, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour. Wrong music there, Adam. We got to get this other music on for our 8 o'clock hour intro here. It is 8 a.m. and Chris Quant with you here, holding it down in beautiful Studio A in the KAHI studios. Looking outside, it's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day out there. It's going to get a little more toasty out there than it's been the last couple of days. It's been nice to have the reprieve here for even just a few days. I was out barbecuing last night, and I walked outside. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Oh, I was barbecuing last week, and compared to what it was last week, I had that sense memory of like what I expected the blast furnace to feel like when I went out to it. And when I went out into the backyard yesterday and just felt that nice, cool breeze. Were you out last night at all? Did you feel that at all? Oh, heaven. Heaven. Even though it was probably still the low 90s, upper 80s. Oh, my gosh, did it feel great. So we're going to be taking a look here with meteorologist Tim Root at the weather here in just a little bit. But if you're getting started today and it is your birthday, happy stinking birthday to you. My gosh, I hope you have a great day today as you're getting started today. Some famous folks sharing your birthday today. And I've been reading these of every hour because I just believe that we need some good inspiration in our lives. We need some encouragement in our lives today. And Nelson Mandela has a birthday today. Nelson Mandela, born on this day in 1918. Here's a quote from him. No one is born hating another person because of the color of their skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. That's from Nelson Mandela, birthday boy today. Also another birthday boy today. Let's see, who is it? John Glenn. There he is. That's what I'm looking for. John Glenn. You know John Glenn. He was one of the first people up in space there. Born on this day in 1921, and I think appropriately, I think it was Friendship 7 was the name of his capsule there. John Glenn quoted as saying today, if there's one thing I've learned in my years on this planet, it's that the happiest people and most fulfilled people I've known are those who've devoted themselves to something bigger and more profound than merely their own self-interest. So that's a very good one. And here we go. Another birthday boy, Red Skelton. You know Red Skelton, a comedian. There we go. Actor, all that good stuff. Born on this day in 1913, Red Skelton said, I personally believe that each of us was put here for a purpose to build, not destroy. If I can make people smile, then I have served my purpose for God. To build, to not destroy. Let's focus on building stuff today, folks. Let's build. Maybe you're building something physical. You've got a project that you're working on, or maybe you want to build up somebody else's self-esteem, build up your endurance to maybe just smiling more and having a great day, or waving to a couple of people that maybe I'm not normally a waver. I want to make somebody's day and say hello. Let's make it. I kind of hate the platitudes sometimes. It sounds kind of corny, but gang, let's make it a great day today. Let's go out there and make it a great day today. All right. Right before we were playing 3 headlines and a lie here. Producer Adam, I need the music again. There we go. All right. 3 headlines and a lie. We're going to pay that off now. Did you just join it in? I'll read them for you again. But did you guess which one was fake out of all of these 4 here that we have? First one, Timothy Chalamet to star in Josh Safdie's A24 movie about a ping pong pro. That's headline number 1. Number 2, The Sims 4. It's an online video game. You know The Sims. The Sims 4 will finally introduce polyamory in free update. That's headline number 2. Headline number 3, the app that promised to use AI to weed out daters with STIs, we used to call it back in the day STDs, has been shut down. And number 4, headline, construction workers listening to Def Leppard complete projects 13% faster. If we had Christine, the house manager over at the State Theater, I bet you she would get it just like this. Christine would be right on top of this. All right, did you guess which of those headlines was completely made up? Now, I did this a little bit earlier, and again, I try and not look at the answer before I've made my guess. And this one I actually got right. I wonder if you got it right, too. Here we go. The headline that is completely made up is, Yeah, you probably guessed it. Number 4, construction workers listening to Def Leppard completed projects 13% faster. That was completely made up. There's no proof of that. There's no data backing that up. So congratulations to you if you got it. Your prize today is a clap from me, and pat yourself on the back and give yourself a high five. All right, let's find out what our day is looking like weather-wise from meteorologist Tim Root. Hey, Timmy, how are we looking out there today? With the new year, we're a lot of season on that one. Come see us for all your prayer and farming and ranching needs. 5 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:05 a.m. Coming up in our next segment here, we'll have your Fox Business Report. Also, we'll take a look outside, look at traffic, see how it's looking on our freeways, our highways, Highway 49 going across the canyon there. Lots of good stuff still to come. Back now to America's First News, and I'll see you back here in just a little bit. Okay.
And the 20-year-old gunman who tried to assassinate Donald Trump searched for public appearances that Trump and President Joe Biden were going to make. That's according to a New York Times report. Thomas Matthew Cook shot Trump in the ear at the Trump rally, only 50 miles from Cook's home. Times reported local officers spotted Crooks acting strangely before the ex-president took the stage, notified the Secret Service, who lost track of Crooks. 20 minutes before the shooting, a sniper spotted Crooks and took his picture. 2 officers then looked for Crooks as the Secret Service allowed Trump to take the stage. Multiple investigations have been launched, both into the crime itself and how law enforcement allowed it to happen. The security lapses came to light as the Republican chair of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee issued a subpoena Wednesday to Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle, compelling her to appear before the committee Monday for what's scheduled to be the first congressional probe into the attempted assassination. And even before the first hearing, Cheadle to resign intensified Wednesday, with top Republican leaders from both the House and Senate saying she should step down. She was accosted by Republican Senators Marsha Blackburn, John Barrasso, and James Langford as she worked security at the RNC. Her after she explained to them she was trying to work detail at the event and would be happy to answer questions at an appropriate time.
No, we're going with you.
The lawmakers likely did it for publicity, as Blackburn posted the interference to social media. The director said she has no intention of resigning. Representative James Comer initially said that the Secret Service committed to her attendance, but that Homeland Security officials appeared to intervene and that there's been no meaningful updates or information shared with the committee. The days after the assassination attempt of Trump, Chicago police are stressing the city's preparedness for next month's Democratic National Convention. Chicago is set to host the DNC from August 19th through the 22nd. Police Superintendent Larry Snelling says he's confident in security plans.
What you saw that occurred in Pennsylvania was an outdoor event and something that obviously we had not been planning for a year. So the security measures that are in place, that we have in place currently, to prevent those types of incidents from happening. So we've had nearly a year to plan for those things. Now, again, if we get any additional intel, if we see things where we know we need to make adjustments or we need additional manpower, we will make those adjustments as soon as possible. The Secret Service has plans in place to deal with rooftops. I won't get into the details of that, but they communicate that well with us. But one thing that we don't do here is second guess what the Secret issues, we will take that to them. They'll input for that information, and the same thing when they have concerns. And that type of collaboration gives me confidence that we're ready and prepared to deal with whatever comes down the city.
Last month, Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle expressed confidence in security at the DNC, emphasizing its relationship with CPD. Senator Bob Menendez has shown no sign he'll voluntarily resign from the Senate following his conviction on bribery charges, leaving Democratic senators contemplating an expulsion effort to force him to leave. However, NBC News is reporting that he's told allies he will step down. Within minutes of the guilty verdict on Tuesday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called for his resignation, and New Jersey's governor, who had named Menendez as replacement, said that the Senate should expel Menendez. He hasn't commented on his immediate plans other than an appeal.
Obviously, I'm deeply, deeply disappointed by the jury's decision. I have every faith that the law and the facts will sustain that decision, and that we will be successful upon appeal. I have never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country and for my country. I have never, ever been a foreign agent. The decision made by the jury today will put at risk every member of the United States Senate in terms of what they think the foreign agent.
It was a familiar refrain from Menendez, who has taken a defiant stand ever since he was first indicted in September of last year. A jury in Manhattan deliberated for 3 days before finding the Democrat guilty of 16 crimes.
Moments ago, a jury in this courthouse convicted Senator Robert Menendez of corruption and national security offenses. This case has always been about shocking levels of corruption. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in the form of cash, gold bars, or Mercedes-Benz. This wasn't politics as usual. This was politics for profit. And now that the jury has convicted Bob Menendez, his years of selling his office to the highest bidder have finally come to an end.
Today is a day, victory, and victory for justice. Public corruption investigations like this hold our leaders accountable and ensure they serve the public's interest and not their own. They ensure they serve the public's interest and not their own.
The report that Menendez will step down comes after the Senate Ethics Committee released a statement saying it would promptly complete an investigation into Menendez that began when he was first indicted. The committee also made clear that recommending expulsion to the Senate was on the table. Farm equipment maker John Deere says it will no longer sponsor, quote, social or cultural awareness events, becoming the latest major U.S. company to distance itself from diversity and inclusion measures after being targeted by conservative backlash. In a statement posted Tuesday to social media platform X, John Deere also said it would audit all training materials to, quote, okay. Elevated message. How much time do we have? Federal and local laws. It did not specify what that means. The Illinois-based John Deere added, quote, the existence of diversity quotas and pronoun identification have never been and are not company policy. It noted it would still continue to, quote, track and advance the diversity of the company without providing details on what that meant.
Breaking news first. America's First News with Matt Ray. We'll be right back.
For veterans concerned about their alcohol or drug use, seeking help can be the first step toward recovery. Dr. Joseph Liberto, National Mental Health Director for Substance Use Disorders with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, has more.
May is Mental Health Month, and VA is committed to letting every veteran know help is available. Substance use disorder can harm your physical and mental health.
You are listening on Listening Day.
VA's Today I Am campaign highlights real stories from veterans.
That's great. Thanks for listening.
Support,
as to quote one of my favorite,
and their lives.
VA has programs
I'm listening from Fraser Crane.
Facilities throughout the country.
Turns out radio
Health services.
happens time than what they show
Today you can start on the path
on a half-hour TV show.
To learn more,
A little bit different. I'm listening. And good Thursday morning to you. It is Thursday, July 18th. It is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:14 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Auburn. Currently 75 degrees right now. Looking for a high today just below the century mark of 99 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report. Whoops, wasn't paying attention there. Whoa. Man. Pay attention today. A little distracted.
Domino's pizza shares are down 11%, though its sales were strong in the recent quarter. Wall Street was anticipating an even better report. Investment firm Blackstone saw a modest increase.
Blackstone. Okay.
The increase was driven by a spike in jobless claims in Texas after Hurricane Beryl made landfall on July 8th, and continuing claims rose to 1.8 million.
Business report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you. Okay, what are we doing? We're taking a look at traffic now. All right. Check Highway 49. Ooh. One-way controlled traffic at various locations, quarter mile north to 3.8 miles north of the junction of State Route 193 from 8 to, what, 17.3? 15 is 3.
That's STIFEL.
Steeple Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SI.
This is Annie Hidalgo, your host of Time for Seniors. You might be used to hearing this but we moved to 12 noon.
8 to 5, Wednesday through Friday, 7:19. Oh. Through Friday, 7:19. Oh, okay. Due to construction, one-way controlled traffic at various locations. Okay. 16 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:16 a.m. Taking a look outside at our roadways right now. 80 eastbound and westbound, looking pretty good as we're going up and down the freeway right now. If you're going up through Auburn, not too bad. If you're going down to Sacramento, not too bad either. A little bit of slowdown on the Cap City split around Watt Avenue, but honestly not that bad for today. 80 westbound going over to I-5 looking good. I-5 northbound slowing around Airport Boulevard a little bit. Southbound slowing as you're getting into Sacramento. 80, if you're going up to the hills today, you're starting your camping weekend, maybe going up to Truckee there. We've got construction work 80 eastbound at Ridge Road and Sacramento Street there. And you're going to have basically construction kind of as you're heading up 80. So just give yourself some extra time as you're going up there. Construction work between Truckee River and Floriston Road up there further as well. So just be prepared for some slowdowns. 50 eastbound and westbound, looking pretty good if you're coming down the hill from Placerville heading into Sacramento, slowing a little bit down around Howe Avenue there, and slowing again if you're going around into South Lake Tahoe around Echo Summit there. So just give yourself some time. And Highway 49, heads up if you're going across the canyon, one-way controlled traffic at various locations, a quarter mile to 3.8 miles north of Junction State Route 193 in El Dorado County from 8 to 5. Wednesday through tomorrow, Friday, 7:19 due to construction. And there's one-way controlled traffic at various locations, 3.5 miles north to 7.4 miles north of the Nevada-Yuba County line at Slayville Circle from 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock Wednesday through Friday as well due to maintenance. So just a heads up, if you're going on 49 there, there's going to be some construction work. Back with more right after this.
Sunday, 9 to 11 p.m. and 24/7 at KAHI.com. Just click on listen and you can.
18 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:18 a.m. We're in the next hour, gang. Hey, Mary Jane's going to join me tomorrow at the end of the week. We're going to have our normal Friday chat as we do. Excited to hear what she's got cooking, what she's chefing up for this weekend for her show. Always excited to hear what's happening on Pop Talk. Coming up in our next segment, sports ball. That's right. We're going to find out it's the All-Star break, but that doesn't mean baseball is stopped. We'll find out about the All-Star seniors, the Auburn seniors here, the Little League. Find out what's going on there. Also, there's a big event happening this weekend. It involves horses. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Back now to America's First News. What is this radio?
39-year-old Ohio senator offered his life story as a son of Appalachia to reaffirm Trump's connections to Americans who feel alienated socially, economically, and politically. He tried to make the case that the Republican Party best understands the challenges facing struggling Americans.
Thank you, please. Wow, my name is J.D. Vance from the great state of Ohio. I want all Americans to go and watch the video of a would-be assassin coming a quarter of an inch from taking his life. Consider the lies they told you about Donald Trump, and then look at that photo of him defiant, fist in the air, when Donald Trump rose to his feet in that Pennsylvania field. All of America stood with him. And so tonight, Mr. Chairman, I stand here humbled, and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to say I officially accept your nomination to be Vice President of the United States of America.
The once never Trumper turned right-wing populist painted himself as open to compromise and unity as he zeroed in on swing states in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Now, Joe Biden has been a politician in Washington for longer than I've been alive. 39 years old. Kamala Harris is not much further behind. For half a century, he's been the champion of every major policy initiative to make America weaker and poorer. And in 4 short years, Donald Trump reversed decades of betrayals inflicted by Joe Biden and the rest of the corrupt Washington insiders.
He wrongly blamed the housing crisis on immigration instead of interest rates and high inflation. Trump, who watched Vance's speech from his private box, is scheduled to formally accept the GOP presidential nomination during remarks this evening. Vice President Kamala Harris, in a short video, said former President Donald Trump's new running mate will act as a rubber stamp for Trump and his extreme agenda. She called out Vance for saying he wouldn't have certified the 2020 election results.
Hey everyone, so Donald Trump has picked his new running mate, J.D. Vance. Trump looked for someone he knew would be a rubber stamp for his extreme agenda, and make no mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country. And unlike Mike Pence, Vance said he would have carried out Trump's plan to overturn the 2020 election. He supports a national abortion ban and voted against protecting IVF. And if elected, he will help implement the Extreme Project 2025 plan for a second Trump term, which would target critical programs like Head Start and Medicare. But we are not going to let that happen.
Trump's campaign said Wednesday it won't agree to propose dates for a vice presidential debate until at least the Democratic National Convention, which is scheduled to begin August 19th. That's because the Trump camp claimed they don't know who the nominee will be, pointing to calls for Joe Biden to drop out. Harris also weighed in on the assassination attempt against Trump, speaking before a moderated conversation on abortion access in Kalamazoo.
As we all know, it was a heinous, horrible, and cowardly act. My husband Doug and I are thankful he was not seriously injured. That day, as soon as we saw what was happening, we said a prayer for his well-being. Our heart goes out to the family of Corey Comparator, a true hero who died protecting his family. And Doug and I, of course, are holding them close in our hearts. We are also wishing those who were critically injured that a swift and full recovery. And there must be unity around the idea that while our nation's history has been scarred by political violence, violence is never acceptable. And just as we must reject political violence, we must also embrace a robust discussion about what is at stake in this election. The surest way to reaffirm the strength of our democracy is by engaging in a vigorous and civil exchange of ideas.
President Biden called for rhetoric to be turned down, but he said it doesn't mean he'll stop telling the truth about Trump. United Airlines has apologized to Pro Football Hall of Famer Terrell Davis after he said he was humiliated after being handcuffed and removed from a flight, and later apologized to by law over the weekend.
Going down the aisle with the cart, asked my son who
How old is your son?
he's 13.
13. Okay.
13. And so my son simply asked
please have a couple bites. And the flight attendant asked me because I'm in the aisle, and I reached over right up on my hand first, and he didn't see it, so I lightly tapped him on the shoulder.
Your player
He
stopped.
swung his arm around. He said,
Darn.
"Hit me."
Were you surprised that that was his reaction?
Oh, absolutely.
And
My hands
what's
up.
your definition to all of a light tap? You know?
That's a lot. I'm tapping hit my wife the same way I tapped him, just to get his attention. That was it.
So you were surprised at that reaction?
Yes, I was. I was very surprised at that. But then, he rushed in front of the plane. He left the cart there. But I didn't think anything of it. Like, okay, whatever. He had a little moment there, but
Did other passengers say anything?
yeah, one passenger in front of me turned around and said that you didn't hit him. He said, "I saw it. You didn't hit him." I'm like, "Yeah, of course I didn't hit him." And so I thought nothing of it. That was it. And they told everybody on the plane to remain in their seats because they didn't say. But I thought it was because there was a medical emergency. I had been on planes before. I've seen everybody say, "Stay on the plane, let paramedics come on, and then you get off." So
You didn't think it had anything
I
to do with
read
you?
the magazine at that point. Reading the magazine, my kids are over there, my wife's over there, and all of a sudden you can kind of hear, you can hear all the gear and the walkie-talkies, a lot of commotion, and I'm peeked into the aisle, and I see all the agents. I see FBI on the jacket. I see the green, I think it was the Orange County Sheriff Department. And they're walking back toward the plane, and as they get closer to my seat, they come straight to me. And the agent walks up to me, and he leans over, whispers, "Don't fight it," and put the cuffs on me.
Davis making the remarks to CBS's Gail King as his attorney reviews possible legal action against the airline. While in questioning, Davis said law enforcement determined the flight attendant's accusations did not have merit and apologized. United Airlines said in a statement they removed the flight attendant from duty while they review the incident. On the entertainment front, with less entries due to the shortened TV season, this year's Emmy nominations probably won't spark any protest campaigns. The folks at FX should be popping bottles for a standout year. 93 nominations, including 25 nods for Shogun and 23 for The Bear. The nominations bring overdue acknowledgement for critical favorites like FX's Reservoir Dogs and What We Do in the Shadows, and fresh competition, including Shogun actors Anna Sawai and Hiroyuki Sanada. Lily Gladstone and Callie Reese became the first female Indigenous actors to be nominated for Emmys. Gladstone for Under the Bridge and Reese for True Detective and Night Country. Reservoir Dogs was nominated in the Best Comedy Series for category for what is its final season. And a meteor streaked over the New York City skyline before disintegrating over nearby New Jersey, according to NASA. The head of the space agency's Meteoroid Environments Office said the fireball was first sighted at an altitude of 51 miles above Manhattan at about 11:17 a.m. Tuesday. It passed over the southern part of Newark before disintegrating 31 miles above the town of Mountainside. No meteorites or other space debris reached the planet's surface. The space rock moved at a speed of about 41,000 miles per hour. Its exact trajectory is uncertain since reports are based only on eyewitness accounts and no camera or satellite data is currently available.
Breaking news first. America's first news. Coast to coast with Matt.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Did you know that all the arteries make a gas? Yes, actually 3 known gases. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch, and nitric oxide is a gas that's readily made all day long to keep our arteries open by relaxing the blood vessel walls. By doing this, our circulation is increased, bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. Both age and poor diet can lead to a loss of this precious gas, and in turn, blood pressure can go up, energy can go down, and you can get tingling in your hands and feet. Well, our product, Ultimate Nitric Oxide, can easily help fix this lack of nitric oxide. Go to TotalWellness.com.
All right, here we go.
TotalWellness.com, where we're helping you to
Shingle Springs.
and enjoy total wellness.
Oh, I still got another minute.
Today's troubled world,
Okay.
USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you.
Hi.
your family, and
Oh, he didn't wave.
life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve the
Feels like I'm in a little bit of a
you can help with vets to work by donating
fishbowl here
truck or van.
because it's just a window and people just walk by on the street. Some look in. Where's my friend Cheryl? Cheryl hasn't walked by yet today. She normally stops by. And she'll like wave, and I'll like wave at her.
Operators are standing
Hi.
questions about making
Oh, he didn't wave either.
vehicle donation
information.
Maybe
Find
next
out
time.
how you can make a difference in the life of the United States.
20 seconds, Adam.
Call 800-209-4580.
Shout out Shingle Springs, currently 77. For a high today of 99 degrees. 205-580. All right, here we go. 4580. And good Thursday morning to you. It is July 18th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:30 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Shingle Springs. Currently 77 degrees right now, looking for a high today of 99 degrees. All right, there's the sports ball music. Let's start right into it. We are in the All-Star break right now, so no baseball today, but the A's will start a 3-game home series against the Los Angeles Angels tomorrow. They'll be back on KAHI here tomorrow starting at 6 p.m. We're going to have an evening game. First pitch is going to be at 6:40 p.m., but radio start time tomorrow, A's versus the Angels at 6 p.m. Heading over to the WNBA, we had a couple of games yesterday. The Dream versus the Lynx. Lynx run away with that one, 86-79. The Fever, you know, Caitlin Clark, she's famous. She's done all kinds of records. She was setting records again last night versus the Wings, but the Fever lost. The Wings were on top there, 101-93. Heading locally here to the Auburn Journal, Auburn falls in NorCal State Tournament final. The Auburn Little League Senior All-Stars surrendered 5 runs in the first inning of a 9-2 loss with Turlock American in the championship game of the Northern California Senior Baseball Tournament on Friday night at Gilroy Sports Park. Turlock American forced an if game with a 7-2 victory over Auburn on Thursday and jumped on Auburn early Friday with 2 RBI singles and a 2-run error and a bases-loaded walk. Tanner Baldwin went 2 for 4 for Auburn, and Garrett Brink had a hit and an RBI and stole 2 bases. Turlock American advances to the West Regional Tournament at Laney College in Oakland beginning on Tuesday, July 16th. And big things going on this weekend. That's right, the Tevis Cup. The 68th Tevis Cup is happening this weekend. Features the biggest field since 2019. The 68th annual Tevis Cup, again, this is from the Auburn Journal, comes back to Auburn this weekend as 143 riders and their trusted steeds come to the endurance capital. Now, this is the most, the most experienced horse in this year's field is a 15-year-old Mustang named Cody, who has competed in the ride 7 times. Cody will be ridden by Ken Campbell of Lincoln. This year's Tevis field is the biggest since 2019, which had 184 riders that started up in Truckee. And again, it's going to be 100 miles in one day. The start is at 5:15 a.m. on Saturday, July 20th at Roby Park in Truckee. And they're going to finish Saturday night at McCann Stadium in Gold Country at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. So yeah, if you see a lot of horse trailers coming into town, parking around town, that is what's happening. Tevis Cup is happening this Saturday, so heads up for that. Back with more right after this.
And I'm thrilled to announce that I joined the KAHI radio team. Each weekday morning from 9 to noon, I'm live on KAHI. We tackle issues like cholesterol, diabetes, women's health, children, geriatrics, relationships, and more. And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and policies impacting your health. The Dr. Dahlia Show is also a live call-in medical talk show.
All right, we're going to close it out.
Join me, Dr. Dahlia,
Timmy, you're up.
every Friday from 9 to noon here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
Thursday weather forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. It'll be hot in the mid-90s and a southwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight around 66, and it'll be partly mostly sunny Friday, the high very close to 100. It'll be very close to 100 over the weekend. Mostly sunny skies Saturday and Sunday, and light breezes over the course of Saturday and Sunday. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:33 a.m. Gang, that is going to do it for me today. We're going to finish out the hour as we do with America's First News and the O'Reilly Report. I will see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning. Again, if it's your birthday today, happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day today. And until we meet again, as always, remember to be kind, be honest, be yourself. And remember, you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a great day. See you back here tomorrow morning.
The hour, America's First 34 minutes past the hour, America's First News continues.
Okay, there we go. Do that there, that there. Reset that to there. We will unplug this here. And we'll unplug this right here. Wind this up. Just, going through the old routine here. And we'll close this up. There. Put this behind the ear here. Move this over here because Mary Jane is coming in today and she does her shit. She likes to have that right there. So we'll leave that there for her. Take off my whiteboard that has what I write down, the date, and any guests or segments special that I want to do. And finally, we'll just close out this here. See you tomorrow. Bye.